Hi, happy birthday, Dad. I don't think this will get played on the day, but if Phil's really good at working technology, you never know. So here's the speech. I did just want to say a few words because I've known my dad all my life, and I am lucky enough to be able to say I like him a lot. He deserves a few words on the grand old day of turning 60, even if it is 2 weeks early, and I'll see you on the real day, and we'll take you to the world's best restaurant, I hope, if we get in. Otherwise, we'll just call it that and go to the place down the way. Anyway, Dad, you've taught me a lot. Not my alphabet. I think my mum taught me my ABCs, but you have given me meaning to all the important letters, so it's a cop-out, but that's my speech, so I'm going to take you through them today. A. A is for anal. Dad is a perfectionist and needs things to be done in the best way. So I've grown up with it, and we love him for it, and he demands the perfectionism of others, and I think he's made me want to be my best at everything I do. B is for boot. That's the best example of A. Every single family holiday started with at least a half-hour session of Tetris playing with the boot that only Dad would be allowed to join in on. C is for cheeky. Get Dad on the other end of a phone and you know what I mean. Apparently all the telephone operators love him, and I'm not surprised. He'd brighten up their day. D is for doctor. You'd always hear me going around the playground. My dad's a doctor, and I'm sure I thought that it made me a doctor because I was the authority, the go-to person for every bruise and scratch and fracture. And it's a lifestyle. He is the person that if some lady's having trouble climbing up a mountain, Dad's there behind her pushing her, or he's been called out of the opera because someone's had a heart attack. It's something he is in every day of his life, and I think I'm pretty proud to have a doctor for a dad. Good work. E? What's E for? E is for Espanol. That's Spain. Mum and Dad have a big soft spot for Spain, and Dad was learning Spanish when I was in final year of high school. He was off to Monash University in his spare time after working full time. So I can see why they've been there twice already doing legs of the Camino Santiago, and I think they're coming back for a third leg for Mum's 60th, so that'll be good. And we've certainly enjoyed our 6 weeks there over holidaying recently, much more than the week that I've just spent working, and so off to Turkey for us next. Enough about me. F. F is for Fiji. Effing Fiji even. Dad took Phil and I on a holiday when I was about 5, and it's symbolic of a lot of the holidays poor Dad took us on when Mum didn't come, because I just remember turning bright red and itchy and sore because of an allergic reaction to a sunscreen. Like when Dad took us to Rosebud and the septic tank and the buckets got a good working out while all 3 of us had explosive gastro. So bon appetit. G. G is for Grandpa. Dad's new role, which he loves and seems to excel at. H is for humour. Your dad's funny. That was the other thing I was constantly told in the playground. And he is. So he shares the quirky Broderick humour, which some like and some don't. I think you're funny, Dad. I is for ideas. Dad is an ideas man, definitely. Or a first gears man, is the book I just read, like to phrase it. Gets things up and running and has lots of grand plans. Actually, no. He has lots of grand plans. Mum's the one that actually gets them up and running if they're worthy, I think. Perfectly matched. J is for Jordan Street. That's the address of the house that I first entered my dad's life in. Yep. Beautifully coloured green. Can't forget that one. K is for knowledgeable. Yep, you're a doctor. We've got that already. Enough about that. Move on. L is for locum. Hey! That's his new lifestyle of working here, there, everywhere, and I think being a first gear man, you'd be very, very good at it, Dad, and I obviously think it's awesome and emulating it right now. Enough about me again. M is for mustache. Yes, that was pretty obvious, wasn't it? My dad's always had a mustache as long as I can remember, except that one time when he did shave it off, and that was so weird for everyone, that Mum particularly, that he promptly grew it straight back again. Can't think of Dad without his mustache. N is for never being drunk, or so he tells us, and that doesn't stop them loving a good wine, and I bet there's a good drop or two on the table right now. Cheers! O is for old. Well, Rob says I should say older, but you know, you're 60 years old now, Dad. Wishing you another 60 years of good health, happiness, marriage, life, travel, everything worthwhile. P is for prosciutto and all the fineries of South Yarra living that Mum and Dad have become accustomed to. Q is for Quan 88, one of the favourite restaurants that Mum and Dad visit, and yes, they are creatures of habit, so if you've probably been there with them. R is for road trip. Remember when a family trip started with a Tetris game of car boot packing and followed with 8 hours of driving before you got there? We went to Merimbula and Queensland and none of those planes when we were kids. Our Holden Commodore got a good working out. S is for sauna. Who puts a sauna in their family home? Well, we did. Genius. Loved it. And it was what made our Australia Day pool parties just something super special, with the rubber matting going from sauna, swimming pool, sauna, and stopping all those little wet feet ruining the beautiful carpet. T is for tennis and all the other sports that Dad has been good at over time. Tennis and cricket and football, 500. That might not be a sport. Anyway, he's good at it. I think it was through tennis that Mum and Dad even met. U is for upset, and yeah, I probably caused quite a bit of this growing up, doing all the things teenage girls do on certain holidays that we went on, and driving lesson tantrums and whatever, a lot of things. Sorry about that, Dad. V is for voices. I've got very fond memories of Dad reading to me when I was in bed as a little girl and putting on all the fancy voices for Magic Faraway Tree and Lord of the Rings, or any book that he'd pick up, and I hope that you'll be reading my kids' stories in those silly voices and accents and all those things one day. W is for writing, and that's because if you've received an email from Dad, then you know that he's got a bit of a flair and a passion for writing. He's a bit of a romantic, a bit of a poet, and keep it up. X, I don't know, X marks the spot for X-rays. I'm at a loss. I don't know. Pinchos, we've just been in Spain. There's an X in that. Y is for you. All of you there, if this is being played and you can hear this. His friends and family, he's got a whole heap of them, and I bet you're all there and having a great meal, and life's not worth living, not even to the grand old age of 60 without friends and family and people who care for you. So they're my words of wisdom. Keep your friends, enjoy them, have fun. Cheers. Z is for zoo, and thank goodness this speech is almost over. The zoo is where, me again, I walked down the aisle with, Dad took me down the aisle earlier this year and gave me away to Robin, and thank you, Dad, for all your help with that day and making it so special, and accepting Rob into our family, and it means the world to us. So we'll see you hopefully at the Fat Duck, but otherwise at some other pub celebrating your 60th birthday. We'll have fun. Can't wait for it. Love you. Happy birthday.